So, turns out dogs aren't bugged in Numa. Well, kinda. A few years back, I made a video talking about Numa dogs and the Wonder Waffle. In that video, I speculated that the dogs altering how you heal was some sort of bug. Depending on how you look at it, you might still consider it a bug. That being said, the dogs work exactly how Treyarch scripted them to work. It's just the reason they do operate in a strange manner only came from a quick fix for Juggernog. In case you didn't see my original video, I'll quickly tell you why dogs can seemingly one-tap you in Numa. You know Jug is busted and verrucked in Numa, right? You heal 40 health every half second, making it pretty hard to die. That's why you see insane clutches on those two maps in particular. On Numa dog rounds, instead of healing 40 health every half second, you only gain 3 health. Meaning if you have super low health, it can take over 25 seconds for your health to go back to 160 or the max health with Jug. Since Jug has its own script to give player health, all damage hit markers will not reflect how much health a player has. You can get red screened on a normal zombie round and will have full health in less than 2 seconds. However, you will still be red screened. Since you heal way slower on dog rounds, you will still be healing well after your hit marker goes away, especially if you get hit twice. Get tapped a couple times after your hit marker goes away, and boom, it looks like you got one tapped. Since I figure most people only came here for the why it's happening and not much else, I'll go ahead and jump straight into that. Treyarch added a check for the dog rounds in the check for Jug function, as you can see here. On dog rounds, players will only gain 3 health instead of 40 health every half second. But why did they do this? Well, this should have been super obvious, and the astute of you might see where I'm going with this. If Treyarch didn't alter the player health regen in some way when the player had Jug, then they couldn't die from 2 dogs. Shit, you can't even die from 6 dogs unless you don't have thumbs. In this clip, I changed the script to always heal 40 health like normal. Even when prone, where the dogs seem to attack quicker, they can't even come close to killing the player. With 6 dogs spawned in, I was still able to easily walk tight circles around and in between them without dying. They could only kill me when I stood still. It took almost 2 full seconds for them to kill me even when I was standing completely still. With 6 dogs per player, they are already hitting what they consider their safe AI limit in a 4-player game, which is 24. Not to mention, imagine going against 6 dogs at once without Jug. Yeah, have fun with that. It was easier to just add another quick fix to their quick fix until they added the Jug functionality to the normal health regen system, which was finished by the time Deriz rolled around. This is why Jug and dogs behave differently on that map as opposed to the previous 2 DLC maps. So in conclusion, dogs do work correctly. They just only work the way they do because of a Jug quick fix. So you might consider that a bug, or you might not. Let me know your thoughts. If you're interested in learning how the script works, plus a little surprise, stick around. If that isn't for you, then that's all the information for today. But I do have a couple questions for the people still watching. So I'm gonna make a channel dedicated solely to my custom zombie stuff because I want to show off a lot of scripts and do tutorials to help out just other mappers and give them scripts that they might not have access to. That made me think, would you prefer all zombies content to be on that channel, or do you not mind seeing random Pokemon videos from time to time? I do plan on doing more content besides World at War zombie stuff, I promise, but I just have a very big love for that game, so I've been stuck on it for a while. I do plan on making a giant video covering the entirety of Call of Duty Zombies, well, for World at War, not including the story. But realistically, that video is going to be like 2 to 10 hours long. So I'll probably end up just making shorter form videos like this one, and then I would just edit them all together into one massive video once all the content's been covered. I haven't really decided though. If you have a better idea, then definitely leave it down in the comments. But yeah, just let me know your thoughts. I might even be showcasing some of my own scrap zombie maps at some point. I'm rambling a little bit now, so let's just get on to the script for all the 2 people still watching. Alright, we'll get right into this. So anytime you see these 2 little marks, that means the engine will not read whatever follows it. So it's commented out, as they call it. So this is just for testing, so they could give themselves jug to make sure that the script was working properly. While true just is a while loop, which just means this is going to run forever and ever and ever and ever. This right here determines or gets how many players are in the game currently. And then this right here is a for statement. And for every player in the game right now, it's going to run this script 1 time for each of those players. So anytime you see players I, it's essentially saying whatever player it's running the script on right now. So for simplicity's sake, we're just going to call it the player. If statements only run if all of the arguments made here are true. So if the player if the player has the perk jug or specialty armor vest, and this exclamation means not, so you're looking for not defined. In other words, you want if player is burning is undefined, and if the player is not using the magic bullet shield, then run this script. Otherwise, it's just going to ignore this and pretend it's not even there. So that's a super quick explanation without getting super technical. We'll move on to the next if statement. It says not flag. In other words, it's looking for if this flag is not set, which is dog round. So when it's not the dog round, we're going to give the player 40 health. Otherwise, we're going to give the player 3 health. There we go. That's it right there. But then it continues. If the player's health is above 160, then just set it to 160. That's just so they don't go above the cap. But anyway, right there. That is the little bit of code that changed how the dogs work on Numa. Kind of blows my mind. I didn't notice that last time. But we all make mistakes, right? And that's the script. You would have thought that they would have relayed this information to the player base just to avoid confusion, or maybe acknowledge it. However, I've never seen anyone from the dev team say anything close to that. Now, I was originally going to showcase and go over 2 scripts for better fixes they could have implemented. I even spent a whole 1 minute thinking of a better method. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Plus, I don't want to stretch this video out even more. If you want to see how my fixes would have worked,
well then, good news!
I made a mod. Links in the description. It has 2 fixes included, and you can swap which one you're using on the fly by pressing 1 or up on the D-pad. There's a 1-second delay to prevent spamming it too much. The first fix delays how long you heal your 40 health on dog rounds. The second fix delays how long you heal your 40 health on all rounds. I personally think the second fix is better, just for the sake of consistency of how the perk works, but you can be the judge. Just to let people jump right in and test, the player starts with jug and the dog round is set to round 2. Have fun!